Hmm. That's better. Okay, I'm here and I'm back live. I apologize for the inconvenience. For some reason, the computer locked me out of here, and I'm going to just not do the camera thing. Maybe that was taking up too much bandwidth. This computer I'm using is not so great, so maybe that's got a lot to do with it. Anyways, I'm live here, and I don't think I'm in private mode, so you should be able to see me by now. And I put in this video, the Charlie Kirk assassination aftermath, and the reason I did is because there are some really good videos, and there's a video floating around about Charlie Kirk, and I guess there's a guy who's a forensic guy. He says he doesn't believe the official story. He says that this is a like a hard to believe that this bullet came the way it did, but I'm going to try this again. It's a all right. I'm going to see. It was Jackson State University. Ooh, this is a good video too. All right, let me get into this real quick here. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to get anybody important in here, but I did talk about some interesting things today. Let me see what I'm going to do here. No, I don't want to do that. You can choose. That's what I wanted to share.
Absolute horror of it. One of the things that struck me from many of these shootings that we have nowadays, you have individuals that will fire multiple rounds at a scene. All you have to do is think back to the recent shooting in Minnesota at Mass with the Catholic school there, and that's kind of arbitrary, I think, just randomly, this was not. There was a level of precision to this. The fact that the crowd was they only heard one report of a rifle. And when I say report, I mean the sound kind of traveling forth. And you've got a big group of people that are assembled down there. So 3,000 sets of ears. That was a crowd estimate, at least. Also, to the
Yep. This is weird. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, anybody want to talk? I guess we can talk now. I don't know if I could get anybody. I have 22 people in this chat. Can you believe that? Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this silly thing, but I'm not going to worry about it now. Yeah. Playing videos freezes your screen. It does. I don't know whether it's the power of the computer. I think it has a lot to do with this computer taxes a lot of the memory and stuff, but that's okay. I don't need to be doing this right now. Anyways, I guess that's about it. I'm supposed to get somebody in here today. So, anyways, the kind of thing with the Charlie Kirk thing, I think that Charlie Kirk was just serving. He was just working. He was just playing these games where, he talks about information we all kind of know about. It's nothing new. He wasn't, his whole organization was just built on this lie that like somehow the country's going to come back, but the corporate powers run the country, and he's afraid to criticize a certain group of people. And when he did, I guess he did criticize them to some degree, but do I think that the guy who they arrested actually did it? No, I really don't. I don't think this is the guy. This is a precision shot. Here's my theory on it. I think that the bullet came right from that stage. I wouldn't doubt that that bullet came right from that stage, because from the way they said that guy would have had to have been up there, he'd be at a very high angle trying to get above that canopy. I don't think they do. I don't think they have the guy, John. No, nobody here is celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Nobody is. We're talking about it. And that video I had presented was just a video that I'm not going to get into that video. It's just a waste of time. I don't know. I really don't know if it says, Tyler says, here, let me put what Tyler's saying on here. He said, so Tyler Robinson is going to confess to a crime he didn't do and spend life in prison and possibly death penalty because Israel told him. I never said Israel told him to. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Like these things that the official story, we know 9/11 was clearly an inside job. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Somebody says this. Oh my God, he says, did you see the video of his security behind him doing signaling? No, and where's the video from all the other people that witnessed this thing? This is ridiculous. YouTube and the FBI, did they go up to all those people and say, give me your video, give me your video, give me your video? Because if they did, this is obstruction of people's rights. I really don't. I think this is disgusting. They did this with Timothy McVeigh. I mean, he was a patsy, but they know their life story within one day. They got the guy's whole life story mapped out. I get very suspicious about official stories of anything, because if this had been a Mossad hit, well, you guys heard this story about that Israeli guy that was caught in that pedophile scam, and he hopped on a plane and went to Israel. This is the last month or so. I mean, it's insane. Our government, even if it was an inside job from a foreign agent, they would never turn him in anyways. I mean, it's just, It's just really crazy. It'd be like a stand down, don't get involved, stand down. That's what they always do. Anytime there's an FBI that witnesses something and they have the goods on people, if it's if the powers that be don't want it, they'll just tell them to stand down and no, let them go. I don't know. It's I don't know what to believe anymore. I mean, this was a well-placed shot, though. I mean, this kid, this is a well-placed bullet. This guy was super accurate. If this Tyler Robinson is the kid, how convenient. He has a nice Anglo name like Tyler Robinson. His dad was a sheriff cop. They could make this story up. These narratives can be made up, no problem. They can do it. It's been done before. But we're never going to get the truth because that's just how these things go. Yeah, I've heard that ricocheted into his neck. That's possible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. We don't know what this was, though. Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I'm ready to fall asleep here. Yeah, he was speaking out against him. It's pretty bad that he died the way he did, but I did that video today to tell you that most of the people that debated him and the men that were in his organization, the guys, are hopelessly romantic. They ain't getting a girlfriend or anything. It's just this is the dysfunction that Hell with the Dashboard Light talked about. The dysfunction is as society starts to crumble because of these demographic changes, where there's way more men to women, you're going to see all this crazy behavior. And this whole thing with all these alternative people in the media like Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, this is what we're dealing with now. Charlie Kirk did nothing good for the so-called white nationalist movement. Not that he should have, but he clearly was pro-Israel and he supported the war, the slaughter in Gaza. And I don't think anything good should come out of that. I mean, what are we to do? give him credit because he questioned that there might be a conspiracy on October 7th, 2023. I mean, I'm sorry. I've known this nonsense since I was 16 and I'm in my 50s now. All this chicanery that goes on with the U.S. government and stuff, all this nonsense. I mean, I've known this for years. Anybody that listens to their government, America right now is trying to start a war under the guise of drugs with Venezuela right now. Yep, they're trying to pick a fight with Venezuela. That's the U.S. empire is at it again. We don't know the whole story. I mean, everything is just up in the air. They give us the official story, and we're supposed to just take their word for it. It's just so stupid. Well, guess what, guys? I'm out of potato chips. And I'm out of sugar cookies, so I'm screwed. Oh, well. I guess I'll just have to not eat any snacks tonight. I love potato chips. God. And I thought I had some too, but I'll pick some up tomorrow. Yep. Guess I'll just get some tomorrow. I will have to get them tomorrow. I like potato chips. Charlie Kirk got the girl. He got everything. I like him. Oh, I like them all. I like barbecue. I like sweet, and I like every one you can get. I like. There's no brand. I do like Lay's though, but there's all kinds of good brands out there. I'm hungry. Should be eating that stuff at night, anyways. But I like sugar cookies too. Are really good. I love sweets. Ever since I quit drinking alcohol, sweets have become my weakness. And it stinks, but when you quit drinking, man, you got to find something to fill that sugar void. Doritos are good too. Kettle chips are good. Well, I didn't go shopping today. Normally, I would have picked up some chips on sale. I should have grabbed some last night when I went out. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, sugar's awesome. I love sugar. Oh, I love French fries. Speaking of which, I do have some, but I don't think I'm going to eat them tonight. Although I could make a pizza tonight. I'm going to make a Red Baron's. I'm going to thaw one out. I'm going to make a Red Baron's. Yep, I'm going to make a Red Baron's. Going to make a Red Baron's. I did locate a Red Barons. I had one left. Ooh. Yeah, I don't believe the official story of anything really. Oh, hey Les. Yeah, where's the people reading the chat here? SBO's. Remember SBO? SBO was funny. He was hilarious. I don't know what he's talking about. Remember this one with SBO tri-tips? What is a tri-tip? I've never had a tri. What is a tri-tip? He's got like, what is a tri-tip? I'd like to get what's his name in here. Yeah. Yeah, most of Charlie Kirk's guys were I would say most of his followers and debater males were incels. They were TFLers all the way. None of those guys were getting any action or any love and affection from women. You notice how when those people were debating, it was like the guys and girls were always separated. There was no lovey-dovey stuff. It was all he got to get the girl, but none of his fans did. None of his guy fans did. He got the beautiful girl. He's got the kids. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of sad, though. You guys are going to pass anti-gun legislation real soon. They're going to say this Charlie Kirk thing was out of hand. I don't know. Maybe they won't. I don't know. You guys don't understand. Just because you're a normie doesn't mean you don't live TFL. Normies are the biggest TFLers there are. They are, because I've talked about the demographic ratios, that there's just way too many dudes out there. So because his fans were normie doesn't mean that his male fans were getting any action from women. Yeah, he didn't get them. He talks about family values and bringing the family back, but he doesn't want to talk about the fact that his fans are just doing horrible with women. You know, get another stupid. Yeah, that is true. None of this matters. Got 48 in the chat. No big deal. How do you guys get into my private chat? I'd have to get somebody in here. Norsack, do you want to come on here? Nazarek? I could put an invite in here. I don't know if I want people coming in here or not. I'll have to kick them out. I'd like to email this. Oh, God. Nazrak, it'd be cool to get you in here, Nazrak. Pizza time. I put the stream link there, but that's okay. Oh, dude, you just got to walk up to him. Dude, you need to Virgin Max. Remember those guys that wear those shirts at Virginity Rocks? Oh, dude. Virginity rocks, man. Virginity rocks, man. You got a Virginity Max, man. Oh man, dude. Oh, dude, it rocks, man. Just listen to Charlie Kirk and Virginity Max, dude. And you too will get a beautiful wife. Just be 6'5", dude. I will tell you how this happens with these famous people like Charlie Kirk. They're discovered at an early age and they're pushed to this limit. And they're either to the fact that he's so Turning Points is the name of his organization. He starts this at 18. No 18-year-old starts an organization like this. This guy was helped from on high. There's just no way that he organically grew this organization like this. There is no way. This stuff is done in a corporate laboratory. I'm telling you, it's done in a corporate laboratory. J.D. Vance is an invention, and so is what's his name. He's an invention too. Charlie Kirk was an invention. Okay. Wave to me. Dude, show me your face. Okay, you don't want to show your face, or you just going to do the – you want to just do audio only, or do you want to get on here and talk? Nazrak, is that you? Is that the real you? Type in the chat if it is. Type in the chat if it's you. If it's not you, let me know. Okay. All right. Do you want to show your face, or do you want to just blank out of here? Oh, it is you. Okay, I'll let you in then. What the heck? I'll just let you right in there. You can show the top of your head. I'll just let you show the top of your head. What's going on?
What's up, man?
All right, what's going on?
I'm on my phone right now.
So what do you want to talk about here?
I don't know.
Oh, you're just drunk?
No, I'm not drunk, dude.
Okay.
I don't have anything to talk about. You know.
Okay, you wanted to well, you comment on my videos. That's why I thought I would ask what's going on with you.
Nobody seems to join your live streams, though, man.
Well, I get some weird people in here that they come in here and they're just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll start. You want me to start jerking off?
Oh, yeah, right. No, I have to take him out of here. I'm sorry. I have to take you out of here. I can't take a chance that you're going to do something stupid like that. I got to kick him from the studio. When people come in here, I can't take the chance. Harden, how you doing? Good to see you in here again. No, I can't have people coming in here and messing up my live stream like that. He didn't do that, but well, what happened was last time somebody did come in my live stream and they were acting all stupid. I know you were joking, bro, but here's the problem. I need a good. You got your shirt off and it looks like you were drinking or something. I don't know if you were drinking or we come here to talk about serious topics. So we get the guys. Well, I don't think he did that. He probably wasn't going to do that, but I booted him out immediately because if that, you want to come in here, you want to be somewhat not drinking. If you are. Yeah, I've been trolled before. I had Harden in here one time. He was a good guest. Harden is a member of the J tribe, but he's a pretty good guest. Oh my God, Nazrak, you said you live in your car? Yeah, that's not a fun way to live. And that's the thing with living in your car. It's really bad. It's not a good thing, man, when you're living in your car. It's hard. That's why I don't recommend having a drinking problem or a drug problem will send you on that path. So I do not like drugs and alcohol because you are not in control of your life when you're drunk or high. I would like to. I'm sure you are, Nasrak, but here's the problem. You're walking around without your shirt on. It just doesn't make my chat look good. I never said it was impressive. Guy, the problem with living in a tent or living on you are subject to so much harassment. I cannot do audio only with him. This is goofy. I don't like this. I'm not able to do audio only unless he wants to. No, I can't control that on here. I don't think I can. This is the thing I hate about this free one. He says he tries to calling Steve, but well, I can invite you in here. Oh, I found some food. I'm just going to eat something else. I'll eat a sandwich. Is that, that's Harden. Harden, I'll let you in, Harden. My favorite Ashkenazi friend. Oh, I'll add you to the stage. Hold on, let me boot this guy out. My friend who's a descendant of the shtetls of Eastern Europe.
Jewish, but not Ashkenazi.
Oh, you're not Ashkenazi?
No.
Your relatives didn't come from shtetls in Eastern Europe?
You know what? One of these days, when I get around to it, I am planning on taking one of those DNA tests. But I think mine will most likely show Sephardic, either Sephardic or
yeah, you gotta look.
Or,
you
either Sephardic or maybe Mizrahi. Yeah. So there's 4 different kinds of Jews.
There's Ethiopian Jews, yeah, Sephardic.
Ethiopian. Jews. Yep. Yeah. So Mizrahi Jews are the original Jews. So
right.
they are the ones that occupied the Levant corridor before Judea was invaded by Rome. And then all of the others, Sephardic Jews, Ethiopian Jews, Ashkenazis, are admixtures, are admixtures of different things. So Ashkenazi Jews are Jews of either some Ashkenazis are Eastern European admixture, and some are German right. Admixture, like the Rothschilds. I think the Rothschilds are German, if I'm not mistaken. Although most of them come from Britain. Sephardic Jews are Jews of like Mediterranean and Berber and more admixture, right. and then Ethiopian Jews are Jews of I'm not sure what tribes, but it's certain tribes in Ethiopia because back then Jewish people were traveling to Ethiopia for business and for business and some of them did marry and breed with Ethiopians. So
Right.
Ethiopian Jews actually predate both
Right.
Sephardic and Ashkenazis.
Right, and yeah, but anyways, this Charlie Kirk character, what can you make of him? Do you think he was like a corporate shill for the right wing? Just to kind
Well, Steve, what have I missed? Because I didn't
okay,
even know that you were live streaming until like literally 3 minutes ago. So what have
okay.
I missed so far? What have I
Well,
missed so far?
okay, I did two 1 minute videos. Those 1 minute videos or less. I did those
Okay.
today. I did them actually a couple days ago. I posted them up, and I said that basically that JD Vance and Charlie Kirk are like the elites that run the right wing have to promote this corporate agenda. They need to keep it going, so they recruit these younger people to do it. And I said that Charlie Kirk is just regurgitating crap that I'm 54. He's only 31. Was 31, going on
Yeah,
32.
31. Yes.
Yeah, and so he's regurgitating a lot of shit that's been preached for the last 60 years. It's nothing new. They just keep saying, "Oh, we just need to get back to conservative values and things will be fine." But the powers that be don't want guys to get pussy or get married or find a wife or anything. It seems like this whole system is designed to keep you in just begging and begging for more of something you can't get. And I think Charlie Kirk filled that void. He was a guy that could make you feel like you had hope for a guy that's 25 years old trying to make his way in the world. And that's how it is.
So Steve, do you believe that Charlie Kirk was likely controlled opposition?
Absolutely, he was.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I do think he was because he never touched certain subjects like, well, he was obviously in the pockets of obviously, I'm just going to say it, he was very much for Israel. And you really, to make it in the political scene today, you have to really be hardcore Israel. But the other issue too was
See, Steve, I strongly disagree with you on that because for that to be true, for that allegation that you are making to be true, then
right.
then how do you explain all of the hostility and violence that's being directed toward Jewish people all across the West right now? How do you explain on these university campuses like Columbia in New York and NYU and other major university campuses, these pro Gaza rioters harassing Jewish students on these campuses, hindering Jewish students from getting to their classes, and with the exception of Fox, all the rest of the legacy media is against Israel. Against Israel and is spewing very hostile anti-Jewish rhetoric, except for Fox.
Yeah.
CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, all the legacy media is very hostile to Jewish people. How do you explain that? Steve?
Well, I think that with what's going on in Gaza, it's hard to hide it. I mean, we're at the point of no return with Gaza. It's a genocide. It's a slaughter.
Do you know what the encyclopedia definition of the term genocide is? Do you know what the definition of the term?
Yes, it'd mean like if you're trying to wipe out an entire race of people or to relocate them.
Yeah. So where's the proof that's happening? Look, American military.
The videos are out there. They're out
so
there.
What? Yeah. So what? Those. Okay, Steve, you know yourself that's why you talk about this. You know what the media is capable of. You know how the media is capable of spinning a story for propaganda purposes.
Yeah, like for example, I made a mention of the fact last time that even if a Jewish producer in Hollywood wanted to degrade the military, the CIA would step in and say, "No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. they sell you a narrative that police are like, in other words, those TV shows like Law and Order. You know what they were designed for? They were designed to scare you into being conformist. That the government's going to get you.
Well, especially SVU, especially Law and Order. SVU, SVU. Yeah, I would be happy to tell Dick Wolf, the creator of every version of Law.
He's a member of the tribe too. Go ahead.
He's a fucking self-hating traitorous Ashkenazi. Yes,
yeah,
but I would happily tell Dick Wolf right to his fucking face that that SVU is a piece of shit. SVU is a piece of shit.
The Mariska Hargitay, the lead person on there, is part producer too of that show. She's part of the problem. That's her definition. Her whole acting career was centered around that role. And
which one? Which actress? Which actress?
Hargitay. She plays the female lead detective in the show.
Okay.
She's got half control of the show now. She's had it for years. And so
really?
She's up there with Dick Wolf as far as directing how that show goes. It's all propaganda. Wow. They do that. They say, you're going to get gang raped in prison. You're going to get gang raped.
And anti-male propaganda. Anti-male propaganda. Yes.
They want you to think that if you even think about trying to get some punani, that you're going to get gang rape in prison. They're going to have you in there. It's all propaganda. It's designed to scare people, but that's what the CIA and the propagandists do. They make these TV shows, and then they have these movies like Black Hawk Down. The American military. Yeah.
So Steve, to address your question about Gaza, the same propaganda, that the lamestream garbage media is spewing against men. All the it's the same propaganda that they're doing with these photos that they take in Gaza. These so-called news photos in Gaza. They're making it appear. They're making it appear as if this is the worst war in history, when in fact, look, military experts, not from Israel, military experts from Western countries that have been interviewed, and ones who don't have a fucking leftist ideological capture, have said flat out that in their opinion, the Israel-Gaza war is shockingly low in terms of civilian casualties by comparison to any other war that they have ever been involved in. It's got the lowest rate of civilian casualties, especially for urban warfare, because Gaza is heavily urban, especially urban warfare. Look, if you're going to try to argue genocide, you need to explain how the population of those Arabics, because the people in Gaza are Arabics. So that's one thing we need to get very fucking straight. They are not that's why I don't acknowledge the word Palestine under any circumstance, because there is no ethnicity called Palestine, and never has been. They're using that name for propaganda purposes.
Okay, so they were
These people are Arabics. They're Arabics.
So there's no delineation between them and, say, Syrians. It's not much different.
There's no delineation between them and, say, someone from Qatar or Saudi Arabia or UAE. Okay.
Yeah,
they're all Arabics. They're all Arabics.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So they're not, but the theory with that is that they were never really indigenous to that area, that they just moved there. No, okay.
The Arabics, no. Arabics are indigenous to the Arabian Peninsula,
right?
Which Saudi Arabia is part of. That's what they're indigenous to. They're not indigenous to the Levant corridor, which that's Israel. Israel is the Levant corridor. They're not indigenous to Iran. Iran is the homeland of Persians. They're not indigenous to Iraq. Iraq is the homeland of Babylonians. Arabics violently took over all of those countries. They're not indigenous to any of the Sahara countries in Africa, like Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, and all those places. Arabics violently took over all those countries and renamed most of them.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about Charlie Kirk. Let's keep it on here. So Charlie Kirk was one of these safety, in my opinion, was a safety relief valve that he allowed people to think that there's hope for single dudes that can't get pussy. And he did it through his religious organization. All of his guys that were members of that, in my opinion, they're all incels. They're all incels. They can't get in.
Steve, you think Turning Point USA is a religious organization?
Well, he said he was a Christian, but Turning Point USA was his vessel that he used to preach his message. But I never seen any love come from the guy. He didn't talk about doing charity work or going out there and helping the needy or the homeless. It's all about political. Turning Point was just political. That's all it was. It's all it is. I think it's still around. It's
yeah.
But whoever shot him, getting on another segue, this is like a sniper shot from 200 yards away.
Steve, there is no doubt in my mind that what happened to Charlie Kirk, I think that was a deep state operation. I think that was CIA. I do. And I think the guy that the cops have in custody right now, I think he's a modern day Oswald.
Yeah.
He's a patsy. He's a patsy.
Yeah. And
he's a patsy. In fact, I doubt that he's even the killer. Just like we know that Oswald was not the killer of JFK. We know that.
Yeah. Well, this guy, this forensics scientist, he's from Jackson State University, which is in, I think, Florida, and he's saying that, or I think it's called Jacksonville State. I don't know if JSU. I don't know what college it is, but they showed him on this. You can look it up. Type in JSU. Forensics professor, and then Charlie Kirk, you'll see it come up. And he says that the weird thing about this is that whoever shot that bullet, to have to clear all those people and the tent, the canopy that was above him, and hit him. It was just a weird shot. It's like a weird angle. And he's saying that he thinks that it's like lower. It's something much lower. And he thinks it could be. I mean, he didn't say exactly what his exact position, but he does not believe the official story. And he's not some conspiracy theorist. He's looking. But another thing that's going to make me suspicious about this is we live in the day of the cell phone with the modern day smartphone. There's got to be 40 people that filmed that damn thing from every angle. So if the FBI came in there and says, "Give us your phones. Don't say a word," then I'm going to really be suspicious, because I'm wondering if they took all their phones away from them people. There's got to be 20, 30 people that were filming with their iPhone. Everybody does that,
Steve, do you think it is a possibility that Charlie Kirk's security team, that his own security team was in on? I mean, if this was, which that is my suspicion, that this was a deep state operation. Do you think that Charlie Kirk's security team was possibly in on this?
Yes, and I think that they could have rigged a gun or a shooter right under the damn stage. They could have had somebody pop a shot off right at his neck from the bottom of the stage. How would you know? I mean, somebody could have been under there with a pistol and just shot straight up. And I mean, it's the plausible argument is there. Now, there was a theory with that Oswald thing. Now, this was Bill Cooper said this, and I'm not saying I like Bill Cooper. He believes he said that the driver of the Cadillac that had Kennedy shot the back shot, and he says that's why the Zapruder film had to be modified so that they didn't show the guy shooting it back. But to me, that's weird. But the point is, the Charlie Kirk thing, the only way it seems that a shooter could have got that shot off was where he was able to get it through the canopy. and the way it just doesn't make any freaking sense. And the guy, I mean, I'm not saying there aren't people that can shoot a gun well, but again, this smells even the attempted life on the president, the nick on the ear.
Yeah.
You would have burned the shit out of that ear. That the speed of that bullet would have burned that freaking ear. It would have seared that damn thing. Everything is so.
What do you think did cause Trump's ear injury?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, it was like it could have been a BB. It could have somebody could have just shot a BB at him and made it look. I know these are. I'm not here to get into all these conspiracy theories now because I don't want to turn off the audience or anything. But I just don't believe this official Charlie Kirk story, or especially listening to this forensic guy. He made a lot of good points. But you can look the video up. And I don't have time. It'll stall out my computer if I play it through here. So.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I was trying to do it before, but it was just stopping my computer. I'm trying to, anyways. So what was I saying here? So yeah, anyways, I'm saying that the official story of this Charlie Kirk, but you're right. His team could have been involved in it. Yes, it's very possible. And I'm sure he didn't vet these people. Are you a traitor? Would you kill me? We don't know who these people that work for him are.
Well, what makes me think of that is, so I was listening to a little talk yesterday from, gosh, I can't recall the guy's name now, but he's from Israel, and he's a former soldier. He's an IDF veteran. He's a retired IDF soldier, and he gave us critique, of Charlie Kirk's security detail and all that stuff, and he made the argument that in Israel, what happened to Charlie Kirk would never have happened. He argued that because in Israel, because of these fucking Arabic savages that Israel is surrounded by, we're used to having to deal with these kind of problems, and he said in Israel, Charlie Kirk's security would have been airtight. Like there wouldn't have been any possibility for anyone to get up on that rooftop and all that stuff. And
if the story's telling truth, because we're just hearing what the media.
So I do agree with his argument to a point, because his argument is assuming that that no organization like the deep state had any motive to want to take Charlie Kirk out.
I think that they may have, if he was if maybe he started to act up and get disobedient with them and say, look, I'm not playing your ball anymore. Because I believe that, okay, for example, JD Vance, in my opinion, is a made up character. They tried to portray him as some hillbilly kid from a poor family. They made a Hollywood movie about his
Ohio. From Ohio,
And the story doesn't just jive with who he really was. And
why do you say that?
Because what the whole story is that he came from this crack addicted family, and he somehow made his way to being a photographer in the war, the second Iraq war. And just the whole storyline behind him is that somebody this is what I think elites do. If they meet somebody that's got potential, they'll say, oh my God, I'm going to invest in this person. And I'm going to, like, if they saw in you a psychopathic tendency or a special trait, they would groom you from and I think they groom
the deep state. The deep state, yeah.
The deep state is this. We always use the term, but what it means is that you have these unelected people or unknown people that find and discover you, and then they put you in these positions. And we don't know, like, who Obama really was prior to Obama at the 2004.
Yeah,
nobody knows who he was in the 80s. Nobody knew him.
Yeah, and the deep state is really actually who runs the country, and the reason I say that is because, see, presidents come and go every 4 years to 8 years, but I guarantee you, Steve, I can guarantee you that if you were by some miracle, and it would be a miracle, but if you were by some miracle to find out who the members of the deep state are,
They'd have you dead tomorrow.
they probably would, yeah. Just to clarify, when we're talking about the deep state, we're talking about a secret unit of the CIA. That's what that is. It's a secret. It's a secret unit of the CIA that runs this country from behind the scenes. And Steve, I guarantee you, if you were by some miracle managed to get a list of the members of the deep state, you would. Before you'd end up dead, which you're right, you probably would end up. Yeah, I think anyone who would get that list probably would end up dead within a week. But but before that would happen, you know what you would find? You would find that some of those people in the deep state have probably been around since the era of Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Oh yeah.
Before, but here's the thing. They what was I going to say? They have these deep state. They're starting a war with Venezuela. Venezuela. The only thing they want is their oil, and they want to put a regime change in there. They're saying it's all under the pretense of drugs. It's all nonsense. This country never gave a damn about countries sending drugs here. It's only when they don't have any control of their resources. It's all it is. It's a scam. All these wars are a scam. There is a deep state, and our CIA never does anything good. It's all for their own benefit. It's all lies, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if the deep state in any Western country, because every Western country has its own deep state. You know, Britain has a secret unit of MI6. That runs that country from behind the scenes. They do. Israel has a deep state. Israel does. Yeah, there's a secret unit of Mossad that runs the country from behind the scenes and probably predates Netanyahu, Ariel Sharon, Yitzhak Rabin. Yeah, probably goes back to the 1980s or something. Who knows? France has their own deep state. Yeah, make no mistake about it. Every major country, every first world country has a deep state. They do. They do. And those are the people that really run the country from behind the scenes.
Right. I don't think Russia has a deep state like this country does. I think they're
Russia does. There's a secret unit of their. Well, I forget what it used to be called the KGB, but they changed the name. I forget what they call what their intelligence agency is called now. But you see, but you don't think Russia's intelligence agency has?
They have secret intelligence agencies, but see, here's the thing with America's CIA. Its only purpose is to protect big business. So they go into other countries.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Purpose. The CIA has never done anything good. It's always going into a country and disrupting it. So the word is that when the CIA gets involved in a government, the people are always worse off than they were before they got there. So in other words, even if a country is going through turmoil, like say Nicaragua or some country like Chile or like the 1970s, they always wind up doing a worse job because the whole purpose is to control American business interests, and it's just really, really twisted. But yeah, you're right. They have their own, and the Russians do have their own intelligence network. I don't know what replaced the KGB. I should research that.
Yeah, but now, Steve. I would be shocked. I really would. I would be shocked if Russia didn't have a deep state. No, I'm sure.
They don't need their interests are pretty much, they have all the natural resources they need. Europe is dying though, and I've done a lot of research on this. Europe does not have anything. they have nothing to sustain them because for 50 plus or no, almost 80 years they've
because of the extinction level childbirth rate of
Yes.
white countries.
Yes, and they're bringing in all those Arabs too.
Yep. But I was saying, so yeah, the IDF veteran that I was listening to on YouTube yesterday, that's the point where I disagree with them, because if the deep state is planning to assassinate someone,
Right.
then then you are going to have a lot of gaps in the security. You are, and it's going to be intentional. And when you look at the Charlie Kirk situation, there was a lot of gaps, in security. There was.
Somebody could have walked up to him and stabbed him. There was no those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what leads me to wonder if Charlie Kirk's own security were secretly working for the deep state. If they were recruited by the deep state. We'll never know.
Yeah, because you know what I don't understand, and I've always asked this question: why is it that some people like Charlie Kirk can go from nothing to where he's at? There, especially like.
Did he go from nothing? Did he go from nothing, really?
Well, he's a college dropout. He didn't finish. Yeah, and then at 18, he started Turning Point. How many normal kids just start a big organization at 18? I mean, he seems like he had people backing him up. I'm not saying there aren't 18-year-olds that are smart enough to do that.
Yeah,
it's just I tend to think that anytime you succeed in a business or whatever, you always have to have backers and movers all around you making things work. And it's just
that's true. That's true, Steve. Yeah, you're right, because like Mark
you want
Zuckerberg,
to start your own auto repair shop, you're going to need an accountant. You're going to have to have advertisers. You're going to have people that can move that shit around so you don't have to do it.
Well, like Mark Zuckerberg, for example, when he started Facebook, and I think he was 20 or 21 when he started Facebook, because he hadn't even graduated from Harvard yet. He was still a student at Harvard, and like what year was that? 2004, 2004, whatever.
Yeah.
I am convinced that Mark Zuckerberg has probably the deep state behind him. Probably the deep state. I am. Yeah.
Up with the concept, but there's no way for you to be able to elevate yourself to that level. I mean,
like he did. Yes.
You and I, we have to struggle to have a job just to hope to retire with, say, $500,000 in the bank for our whole life. These people they just acquire this in zero time flat. I mean, it's like it might take forever to acquire wealth and stuff. And people are always holding on. And some of these people, they just completely just bypass all those rules. How do you bypass all the rules? Well, I just worked hard. You're 22. You're already a billionaire. It's insane.
Hey, Steve, I'd like to hear your opinion. On. I'm sure you've heard. I'm sure you've heard because. I'm sure you've heard about this story because although the leftist shit rag media has been ignoring it, Fox has been covering it every day. That poor girl that got murdered on the light rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, What are they trying to make? Are they trying to blow this up into a racial thing?
Well, there's some witnesses on the train that claim that they heard that shithead saying, "I got that white girl."
Yeah,
if that's true, if that's true, that definitely sounds like a motive to me. That sounds like a motive.
Right, but if they wanted, they're trying to agitate a race war. It seems like these people are here.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like that. It seems like the George Floyd riots. That was really bad, and then we're probably setting up for another big riot real soon.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, yeah, because ever since that story broke the news on Fox,
Mhm.
um, I'm seeing a lot of white guys on social media on the right that are really expressing a lot of rage over that, and I'm telling you, if these guys decide to act on that rage, because right wingers tend to be heavily armed, and
Yeah,
they train
that
with
can
their
be.
guns. They train
Yeah,
regularly.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm being honest, because it is interesting that Fox is the only news outlet in the legacy media that's been covering the
Okay,
story.
but don't you think that Fox is also controlled opposition too? Come on,
They all are.
they all are. Okay, good.
They all are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but okay, try to understand where people on the right are coming from. Whether or not the elites and the deep state are using that case for their nefarious purposes. So with that aside,
Mhm. Yeah.
people on the right who are making those rage comments that they are on social media do have a point. They
Right.
do. They do, because 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 the thing is, that attack was unprovoked. That was
Right.
unprovoked. That girl did not even look at that guy. She didn't even look at him.
I
She
never knew.
went,
You
sat
said
down.
I
Huh?
thought this was in New York. You said it was in North Carolina or New York?
Yeah, yeah. This was in Charlotte, North Carolina, on a light rail train. On a light rail train.
Oh, okay, okay. I see.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Her name was
So
Irina
is it?
Zarutz.
Why do you think it's any different than something that would have happened in New York? Do you think because it's a southern state and there's a lot of those Anglo hillbillies that want to kick her, start a race war?
Yeah. Well, okay. The thing is, Steve. Okay, the deep state and the elites aside, that
Right,
aside, there is genuine animosity. There is genuine
right,
conflict between the right and the left in this country.
right.
There is.
There is.
And one of the things that's contributing to that conflict is the hypocrisy of the left, because that girl in North Carolina, the leftist media, the left-wing media is flat out ignoring the story, and flat out ignoring. Fox is the only news
Oh, I
outlet.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's happened before
yeah,
when
yeah,
there's
yeah.
black on white.
Yeah,
Go ahead, finish.
Fox is the only news outlet within the legacy media that's covering the story. And I believe that the reason CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, NPR, PBS, and Huffington and Washington Post and New York Times, I believe the reason all of these leftist shit rags are are ignoring the story is because it doesn't fit their narrative. Their
Okay, I see.
race baiting, their fucking race baiting narrative,
Right.
because the perpetrator, and I'm comfortable calling a perpetrator. Normally I would say suspect, but in this case, because it's clear on surveillance video, it is clear. You can clearly see it on surveillance video. Um, this perpetrator is of the
Hmm.
demographic or or one of the demographics of people that the left fetishizes. And that's why the
Right.
left is ignoring this story. Because Steve, I can guarantee you, I can guarantee you, if it was a psychopathic white guy, attacking a young, pretty, a young, attractive, age 21, 22 black girl, unprovoked, entirely unprovoked, completely unprovoked. Let's
but
not
I mean, what
pretend.
you're explaining to me, we've known this for 30 years. This is not a new revelation you're pointing out. I've heard this revelation. Of course, we've all known that the media will ignore black on white crime, but
Yes,
they will
yes.
completely. So my point is, where do you think this is going? Is kind of get to the point. What's the point of what you're explaining? So it's a black on white crime. So you think that
Yeah.
this is a conspiracy or what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Like, I mean, what? Okay, so it happened. So some black guy did this. It doesn't mean that we should all hate blacks for this. I mean, this is one black guy.
Nobody's arguing that. No,
I mean,
no,
this is a black guy that 99% of black people don't commit crime like this. This is a very small minority that does. I mean, that would, we can't. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is why is people making a big issue of this story? It's one story. It's just why is everyone screaming about it, or a lot of people?
Well, because it ties into a lot of different issues that do
Right.
connect.
Okay.
Because you have the left, through activists, through leftist media, demonizing white people, particularly white men, demonizing Jewish people, demonizing Asians, and yes, the left in recent years has indeed started betraying Asians. They have, and I'll tell you why. Because the left views anybody who is successful as oppressors, and now Asians are in that category because Asians like at universities, for example, Asians tend to ace university entrance exams because Asians have very high average IQs. That's just a fact. That's a statistical fact. You've got more Asians in Mensa now than you do other races, races, and look, Asians are one of the top 3 ethnicities that you see among the ranks of the membership in Mensa. It's Asians, white people, and Jewish people. Those are the top 3. And are there Africans in Mensa? Of course, yeah. Yeah, Arabics. I think there's 2 or 3. I don't know. But it is true. The top 3 demographics that make up the membership base of Mensa are Asians, white people, and Jewish people. That's just a fact. And because the left views success as oppressive, that is why the left has now turned its back on Asians, and that's why Asians are now being discriminated against at these universities, particularly the Ivy Leagues. I don't know if you've heard, Steve, but there's been a lot of lawsuits, a lot of class action lawsuits against these universities on behalf of Asian students for discrimination. Yes. So, what was the point I was coming to? Oh, yeah. the reason why the left, because see, what you have to understand about the left is the left has a hierarchy based on victimhood. So whoever is the biggest victim is at the top of the hierarchy. And and because the left views Black Americans as victims by default, that's why they fetishize Black Americans. That's why they fetishize Arabics. Because
to be fair, blacks get tougher prison sentences for the same bullshit. They are discriminated against. I'm not a liberal, but I wouldn't want to be in a situation of a black guy in the ghetto. I mean, if they're white cops are racist motherfuckers. They are.
You really believe that, Steve?
I know they are. Most white cops are. I mean, they don't have any tolerance with black people. They're very racist. I don't know.
But to address your point though, to address your question, so what we're seeing an attack. We're seeing an attack, an all-out attack from the left on all of the high success demographics of people: white people, Jewish people, and Asians, and I believe the reason for this is because they want to elevate people who are demographics who are less successful on average, be it Arabics, be it Black Americans, be it whoever the fuck else. I think probably the exception would be Native Americans, and
Right.
and I think that's just because there's not enough commercial value out of Native Americans, because
Right.
Native Americans are a tiny percent of the American population, so
Right.
so they don't have the commercial value. Native Americans just they don't have the market value.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You can't really market an American Indian.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think the goal of the leftist elite establishment is to shrink the size of demographics like white people, Jewish people, and Asians down to as close to nothing as possible. And this is why they are elevating less successful demographics. And here's the reason, Steve, it's because these demographics of people that the left fetishizes, these people are easy to control.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Right.
They are, because they don't have critical thinking skills.
Mm-hmm.
And people who lack critical thinking are easy to control.
I would have to say, from a street smart level, Black Americans do have very critical thinking when it comes to common sense with because they understand. Like, I talked to a lot of my Black students in the years ago.
Okay.
And they used to tell me, they said, listen, man, it says the prison system is just a for-profit scam. And a lot of them.
Oh, it is. Yes.
Things, yeah. But you don't think that blacks as a whole, you think they're easier to control? That's why the elites want to get rid of white people.
Well, not just Black Americans. Yeah, them, Arabics. Yeah. Pretty much any demographic of people that has a low IQ, that has an average and a low median, a low median IQ, which that includes Black Americans. Yeah. It's not being racist. No, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. They do have a low median IQ. Arabics, I think, are probably fucking worse, because Well, because when you look at these weird fucking superstitious beliefs, that Arabics have, okay, I'll give you one example, Steve. I'll give you one example. Do you know why? Do you know why? In Arabic countries, when they find out that someone among them is a homosexual, why they shove them off of rooftops. You know why they do that, Steve?
No,
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It's because of this weird superstitious belief that Arabics have, and I'm guessing it's based on something in the Quran. Because damn near all Arabics are Islamic. So I'm guessing it's based on something in the Quran, but that's just my speculation. But but Arabics have a real funny superstitious belief. They believe that if they shove a homosexual off of a rooftop, and if he is able to fly, as in fly like a bird, that he's an angel from Allah. Yeah, they actually believe that. Yeah. And,
never heard that before. That's crazy.
well, yeah, and you know what? If that ever does happen, yeah, if a homosexual does fly after being shoved off a rooftop, oh, they'll never mess with him again. They won't. They'll let everybody know, hey, this guy's a fucking angel from Allah. He's an angel from Allah. Leave him alone. but think about this, Steve. Do you realize how severe of an intellect deficit one has to have, to believe that, to actually have that kind of a superstitious belief, a belief that defies everything that we know about physics and gravity?
Yeah. But you and I both know that most Arabs don't think that way. Come on. That's ridiculous.
Here's the thing, Steve. If you're judging Arabics by the ones we have in America, okay, that's not an accurate gauge, because the ones that are being granted residency visas, whether it's education visas or work visas or what have you in America, they're the upper tier people from their societies. They're those people come from the upper echelon of their society. So those people are more educated,
Right.
than the average person you would meet if you were actually traveling in Gaza or Syria or Afghanistan or Algeria or someplace like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So then
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's so you're saying that you think that these Arabs, they if you went to an Arab country, they're very low IQ as far as.
Hell yes, they are. I would say, with the exception of the top 5, and those being Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Oman, and Kuwait. Because those are the top 5 Arabic countries. Those are the ones that are by far the most developed, and I'm proud of those 5 countries. By the way, I am. I'm proud of them. I consider those 5 countries marvels of civilization. You look at because you look at just how spectacularly developed Qatar is.
You forgot to mention the United Arab Emirates too.
I did. UAE. Yes.
UAE,
Yes.
yeah. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Oh hell yes! Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Saudi Arabia. Look at what Saudi Arabia has done with their Red Sea coastline. You know, they've developed some spectacular resort areas along their Red Sea coastline, and Saudi Arabia has announced plans to build a real life version of the Jetsons. Steve, you remember the Jetsons, right? Remember the Jetsons? That famous
Yeah,
cartoon.
that was a great. Oh yeah,
I love the Jetsons. Yeah.
right. I remember that. It was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia announced plans to build a real life version of the Jetsons, a city in the sky, a city in the sky, just like in the Jetsons. Yes,
Oh
yes,
man,
and
that's amazing.
oh man, that's going to be a proud day for me to see that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so do they? Where do they? But
what?
I hope you can hear me. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see you still. So, anyways, you said they're going to try to build a city in the sky.
That's what they've announced. Yeah.
That's what
That's what that's what the sheiks. That's what the sheiks have announced. Yes. That they plan to build a city in the sky, just like in the Jetsons. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be exciting for all of human civilization. That will.
Yeah, but no, I don't think we'll be a part of it. It's going to be for the rich only. They're going to this ain't going to be for us peons.
You think so, Steve? You think so?
I think so. I think it's the wealthy just playing games. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like it's too good to be true.
Mm.
Okay, so like I said, like we're all going to go to Mars. Dude, you know what the only thing they're going to do with Mars? They're going to get rid of all the excess males.
Oh, really? You could be right.
You know the number one crisis facing this country is the excess male problem. We got too many too many swinging dicks.
Yeah.
We need to have like I really think that these political problems would be solved if every man could find a wife or something. It's like, dude, this is when you have all these excess males, all this problem. I really think we have too many excess men in the world.
I'm not going to dispute your argument, Steve. I think your argument is solid because
It's like guys need the left guys on the left and the guys on the right have one thing in common. They're all trying to pine for women's interest. The guys on the left, they're all doing the same thing,
Well, because when you look at your average Arab, your average Arabic Islamic militant, right? Do you know one of the things that drives the mindset that they have is it? That's right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
I'm convinced that I think 50% or more of the Arabic men never find a wife. I don't think many of them do because
You think it's that high? Really? You think it's that high?
I know it's high for incel men in America because like younger guys half the guys don't have even girlfriends, and they're all like, "Well, my girlfriend, yeah." But you know what? I don't believe it. I think it's there's just not enough women to go around. There's too many. The immigration thing is all dudes. It's like all we do is bring in this country excess males from over the border, and then from these guys from these H-1B1 visas are always awarded to guys from India, and they don't bring their women with them. They're just a bunch of dudes.
Oh no. Some of the guys from India are bringing their wives and their children. Some are. I think it's probably less than half of them, but no. Some of them some of them are. I mean, we have a lot of immigrants from India in Minneapolis, and I see some of them with their wives and their children.
Okay, so you live in the same city. You know who else lives there? That YouTuber, what's his name? He goes by the name of Thomas White. He lives in Minneapolis. He really hates Minneapolis. He says it's become so infested with immigrants and all weird shit going on there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm reading one of the chats, and someone who goes by the name A Person wrote, the vast majority of USA's political problems are because women's lack of interest in dating, and yes, the excess men. Um, yeah, I agree. I think this is playing a role. I think this is playing a
It's got to
significant
be.
role.
It's got to be this. It's a distraction. Like Charlie Kirk to me was a distraction from the fact that most of his followers are not getting any pussy. I know it sounds crude to say that, but I mean, if you're not getting laid, what else? Oh, well, I'll just cope with being, and then they're gonna. It sounds so bizarre to think that like this guy could land a beautiful wife, but the average fan of his cannot. He's able to pull off the miracle. I have a beautiful wife and 2 kids, but the average incel guy that goes to his rallies isn't getting anything. It's just bad.
Oh, this is an interesting comment from Mekong Farang. He says, if you go to UAE, the large gathering of people, everyone is happy and enjoying life.
Right.
Large gathering of people in America are typically arguing and debating over nonsense. Yeah. I agree. Black pill Syria. Damn, black pill Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Another word for educated and educated and domestic. Yeah, it's interesting reading some of these comments here. Passport bro maxing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if you got the money, if you can just quit your friggin' job and go there, yeah, I guess you could do passport. But even those women, even the passport bros have screwed it up because what they've done is they're flooding these countries with too many dicks now. The effect was good, like say 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. But now they got every scrode and his friends. They're just descending on these towns, and you got too many swinging dicks now. We need a war, dude. We need a war. We need to murder these sausages. Oh god.
I like this comment from Musing. Couldn't agree more. Most people who make it nowadays in America do not start at the bottom. They are born to well off people.
Yeah.
Well, that is what the data bears out. Yeah, that is what the statistical data bears out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because capitalism is designed to favor those who already have money.
Right. It's like I said this about disabled people. The reason why disabled people don't come out in public is they don't have anything to spend. The society is geared toward able-bodied people who can land a mate and a good job. That's what going out in public's all about. It's the people with money to spend and people that are able to secure a mate or a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
or a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. So that's why incel guys, you don't see them out in public because they're out there, but they're usually sitting in their home. I know like probably 3 guys in my neighborhood that are successful single dudes and they're assholes, but they just are always home all the time and they got good jobs. But it's like it's very simple. It's if you're I think there's tons of neighborhoods that with these single dudes that just don't. They'll have a good job and everything. They can't get any pussy,
This is an interesting comment from Jerry. He says Venezuelan women maxing. He
Yeah.
says Venezuelan women maxing. Facts that that why I don't want to tell men my limited methods. They will flood the market and ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow, Steve, you should get Jerry on. Ask him how long he's been Venezuela maxing.
Well, and another thing, if you're going to go to Venezuela, you better speak the language too. I mean, you got to learn Spanish.
Spanish,
You don't want to be
Spanish,
just an
yeah.
idiot.
Oh, Jerry says
Maybe what
I can't keep women. Too many men hollering at them at the same time. At the same time, head out of water mentality.
yeah.
Men are so thirsty, too many to compete with. It's ridiculously overpopulated market. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's in the West. There's too many excess men. There's just way too many of them, and there's not enough. It's everywhere you go. It's like the only place you see women are is on college campuses, which that
Yeah.
does not prove that there's more women. It just means that women are being more educated. And you do see these pretty girls at the gym, but once they leave the gym, you never see them in public. It's really weird. How could there be attractive girls at the gym, but you never see these women in public? You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like they have their own. They just kind of go at like I don't know. It's crazy. Like I don't know where these women even go, but I don't really care because I'm older than a lot of them. But anyways, well,
What?
what's that?
Jerry, what? Which websites are you? So Jerry commented, um, social media restricts men. They now have alerts for screenshotting and
Yeah.
don't let you add women if you don't know them on he's saying Facebook and Instagram. What?
Well, what's happened with a lot of those meetup.com sites is they vet the people before they let them into their club. So they used to advertise like these women, they would have like professional women's night out. We're going to meet at Applebee's or this place or this one fancy restaurant. But what I found out is too many guys started showing up at them things and uninvited. So yeah, they have to, everything on even like meetup.com is all vetted now.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh well.
Wow.
So, dude, are you single still or?
I have a few girls I'm talking to, but they're all in they're all in a third world country. Yeah. They're not. Yeah, they're not in America.
You don't think you could get any Israeli pussy?
Oh man.
Israeli,
Yeah.
you better be a billionaire, right?
Yeah, I got to tell you something. As a Jew, one of the things that does piss me off about my people is that hardly anyone in the Jewish community is addressing the um you try to talk to the average Jew about black pill, they'll look at you like you're crazy. I wish that wasn't the case, but it's true. It's true.
Black belt is a very taboo subject to talk about. It really is.
And there's a lot of Jewish men in the black pill community,
Right.
but they're keeping it to themselves.
Yeah, the black pill does not go over very well in the Jewish community at all. Not at all.
Oh hell no! You kidding? But no, you are right, Steve. Yeah, to get an attractive Jewish woman, to get to get a young, fit, fertile
Yeah.
Jewish
Yeah, you
woman
better have a
with
billionaire. Yeah, you better have a lot of money.
oh gosh, yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. To get a Jewish woman who looks like, say, Gal Gadot. You familiar with Gal Gadot, the
No,
actress?
no, is she famous?
She's a sexy little thing. Oh man,
Uh-huh.
Gal Gadot she's the actress who played Wonder Woman. Did you see the Wonder Woman movie that was in movie theaters? I think like 3-4 years ago.
I did not, but I heard. Yeah, I heard of it. She was the star of it, right?
Yeah. So you remember the TV series, the 1980s TV series,
Yeah, that
Wonder
was with
Woman,
Linda Carter.
with Linda Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, from the
So
70s.
I think it was 2-3 years ago that they produced a Wonder Woman movie. They produced a
Yes,
Wonder
they did.
Woman
Yeah.
movie. Yes, yes, and Gal Gadot, and she who's Jewish. She's Jewish. She was the star. She was the star in that movie. She played Wonder Woman in in that movie. Yeah, Gal Gadot is a sexy little thing, but I'm telling you, to get a Jewish woman that looks like Gal Gadot, yeah, you if you're not a rich fuck, if you're not a rich fuck, forget it, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it, and and yeah, the Jewish community is probably the worst when it
Yeah.
comes to
They
ignoring.
they don't acknowledge the problem at all. They don't acknowledge the problem.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no. Another flaw that we do. Every community has its problems. That's just a fact. Whether it's the white community, the Jewish community, Black
Right.
Americans, every community has its problems, and every community should be addressing its problems.
Yes,
The
right.
prob-
Exactly. Yeah, like the Jewish community doesn't want to address that. You have all these Jewish guys that have to basically dumpster dive for
Yeah.
low tier tattooed Gentile women. You know.
Shit. Look, if I did manage to attract a wife in America, guaranteed she's going to be a feminist. Virtually
Oh, yeah.
guaranteed she's going to be a feminist. Oh yeah. Yeah. To attract to get an attractive woman, especially in the Jewish community, who's traditional, who's not a fucking feminist. You're not getting that if you're not rich.
Yeah, but
You're not.
you could, yeah, but see, you don't practice Judaism. But if you went into the Hasidic Jewish community, you might find one.
A synagogue. Yeah.
Those Hasidic Jews, those guys really do well with finding wives. They have no problem.
That's interesting, Steve, because honestly, I've never been around a group of Hasidics because, and here's why: because Hasidics are mainly in New York City. They're mainly in New York City. Yeah. We don't have any here in Minneapolis, at least not that I've ever seen. Not that I've seen. Yeah, Hasidic Jews are mainly New York City. Yeah, they're the ones that you see wearing the big hats, the big giant hats.
Yeah. The one that looks like a pizza wedge almost.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the problems that I see with my community, with the Jewish community, is it really does disappoint me that when it comes to pro-Jewish advocacy, and I think that's one of the reasons why the left is hostile toward the Jewish community, at least the social left. That's a whole different issue. Because the the pro-Jewish advocacy voices that get all of the media attention, that get all the airtime in the media, are people like Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro. These these ardent economic conservatives who preach bootstraps. I wish that wasn't the case. I do.
Grab yourself by the bootstraps type of people.
Yep. Yeah. And I badly wish that wasn't the case. I wish we had in our community more people like Alan Dershowitz. You familiar with Alan Dershowitz?
Yeah, but he's kind of a hardcore leftist. I mean, isn't he he's very much for government censorship and government control, because he was a big advocate of making people take the vaccine.
Oh, was he really? I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. Well, so I like Alan Dershowitz because he is staunchly pro-Israel. He's a pro-Jewish advocate.
But so is Dennis Prager. He's pro.
But the difference between Alan Dershowitz and Dennis Prager is okay. So Alan Dershowitz, I forget who the fuck it was that interviewed him about a month ago, but someone interviewed Alan Dershowitz on their YouTube channel, and he was talking about why he has walked away from the Democratic Party. Yeah, because Alan Dershowitz used to be a Democrat, and he used to be a dues paid.
He said he would never. I don't think he'll ever vote Republican. He's always been a Democrat.
No. He has left the Democratic Party. He withdrew his membership. In the Democratic Party, and he said in that interview that that because of the anti-Jewish agenda that the Democratic Party has adopted, that come 2028, he plans to put in every fucking ounce of effort that he's capable of putting in to prevent the Democrats from winning any elections in 2028. Any elections, the legislature, the White House, none of it. He wants to see the fucking Democratic Party fall. Now, one of the things that he talked about in that interview was how the decision to walk away from the Democratic Party was a very hard decision for him to make. It was a hard decision for him to make because the reason he's always been a member of the party is because he has always believed in the ideals of FDR. FDR, JFK, Jimmy Carter, and he said the Democratic Party now is not the party of FDR or JFK or Jimmy Carter. That party is gone. That party is fucking gone. And he said that the Democratic Party now does not stand for anything that he believes in, and he's right. And he's right. So when we talk about FDR, what do you think of, Steve, when you think of FDR or JFK or Jimmy Carter?
He's the invention of the welfare Social Security. He created Social Security.
Yes.
Right, so.
Does the Democratic Party in modern time even talk about socioeconomic issues?
No,
in modern time. They don't even talk about socioeconomics. They pretend as if socioeconomics doesn't fucking exist. They do. All you hear them talking about is Jewish people oppressive, Jewish people bad, white people bad, white people oppressive by nature, you know, they're,
Oh, I
you
find it
know,
hard to believe, and here's why. Because the Democratic Party, every time there's a aid package to Israel for more bombs, they all vote for it. Bullshit. They've always voted for it. Where are you coming up with this? Democrats hate Israel. Almost all Democrats vote pro-Israel. It's almost like the entire AIPAC lobby is all funded by both Democrats and Republicans. But you got this idea that they're discriminating the Jews. That's ridiculous. What does it take? Two people to discriminate them in the Democratic for you to say that they're anti-Semitic? That's insane. The Democratic Party, well, Joe Biden gave Israel everything they wanted. Everything. He gave them every bomb they wanted. They asked for it. He gave it to them. He's the one who would not control that Gaza war. It got out of hand, and he just kept it going. You know, I mean, where this doesn't make any sense to me.
So regarding weapon sales to Israel, what you need to understand about that, and yeah, I know the argument that anti-Jewish racists like to make, that my tax dollars going to Israel. No, shitheads, your tax dollars aren't going to Israel. What the U.S. government gives to Israel is a credit to spend with American weapons makers. It's the same sort of thing as, like, if you have a gift card for Target. That's all that is. And if you want to argue that this is something that benefits the military industrial complex, that's a debate worth having. I'm not closed minded to that debate, but but don't call that something that it's not. It is only a credit to purchase weapons from American weapons makers, because in order to make those purchases, Israel has to make those purchases in US dollars. America is not sending US dollars to Israel to fund their internal operations. So, like Israel's universal health care, for example, that's something that the Knesset funds through spending bills, just like the U.S. government funds its operations through through spending bills. And Israel, just like the U.S. government, has its own sovereign currency. It's called the shekel. So U.S. dollars in Israel would be useless. You're not going to go to a fucking supermarket in Tel Aviv and pay for your damn groceries in U.S. dollars. That's not happening. The U.S. dollar is not the national currency of Israel. It's the shekel.
Okay, but what does this have to do with the fact that you keep saying, oh, the Democrats hate Israel, when 95% of the fucking Democrats vote for pro-Israel causes? Where are you coming up with this stupid stuff? This is the most insane argument. I can't even imagine what you mean by the Democrats are so anti-Israel. What, 5 of them? Like maybe 4 or 5 of them are anti-Israel? That's it? That don't make any sense.
No, just about all of them, Steve. I mean, have you not heard the anti-Jewish hostility from Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib?
Yeah, but there are three. Okay, she's a Palestinian American, and then you have the phony.
Arabic. No. Let's be accurate. She's an Arabic.
Okay, she's Arab.
Because there's no ethnicity called Palestinian. That never has been. That's a made up name.
There's that one that's from Ethiopia, from the tribe. Who's the one in your area that she's?
Ilhan Omar. She's not Ethiopian. She's Somalian.
Somalian, yeah. Yeah, she's another one. But I mean, like, you're talking like a couple, like all your white Democrats vote for Israel. The whole, I don't like, why would Dershowitz leave the Democratic Party because five descending Gentiles from the Democrats are leaving? You know, that don't make no sense to me.
You'd have to listen to that interview, but what he explains.
What I gather, when Jews get angry at somebody, it's because 5% of a group doesn't like them, so therefore they go hysterical. Because I mean, it's all it takes is one person to criticize them, and then they go just ballistic.
Steve, no, that's no, that's not true. No.
Somebody put on here, George Soros is the Democratic Party. Okay, one thing Charlie Kirk was saying in one of his, before he died, he said something about that some of the biggest leftist promoters are Democratic Jews. I mean, have promoted all these immigration policies. I mean, Jews generally lean to the left to begin with. That's just politically how they've always been.
Yeah, and well, it's, let's see, Javier Sands. I can see Jewish men with Asian women since both communities value education. I agree with this comment. I agree with that comment, actually. Yeah. He's right. He's right. The difference between leftist Jews and those on the right, like Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro and whatnot, is leftist Jews in the West, I should say, leftist Jews in the West tend to be self-hating and traitors to their own people. So they're very difficult to respect, for the same reason that white people on the right despise white leftists. Leftist Jews are traitors. Alan Dershowitz is one of those exceptions. He's one of those exceptions because he's staunchly pro Jewish and pro Israel, and that's why he made the decision he made to walk away from the Democratic Party. You know, because he's disgusted by what these leftists in the party are pushing, this anti-Jewish agenda. And yeah, don't get that confused with with the legislature approving a credit every year for Israel to spend with American military weapons makers, because that's just something that benefits a particular industry. That's it. And what that does is it keeps Israel, there's benefits to that, but there's also drawbacks, because in some ways it kind of makes Israel America's bitch. It makes Israel America's bitch because see, it keeps Israel locked into an exclusive contract with America. And
no other country would support them. That's why.
No. That's not no, that's not it, Steve. That's not it. No, America wants Israel tied exclusively to this country because and I understand why. I do understand the motive behind that because the U.S. government does fear. The U.S. government does fear that if they don't keep Israel locked in with America exclusively, that that Israel will potentially go to and strike up deals with, say, China for weapons,
Right.
China or maybe Russia or whoever, and so America does not want Israel partnering with any of its adversaries because Israel is a strategic partner for America in the Middle East.
Mhm.
No,
I
no, it's not that Israel wouldn't be able to get partnerships with other countries. Yeah, they would. Yeah. It's just that America has Israel locked in to an exclusive contract.
Okay. Well, listen, I'd like to. I got it. I'm like falling asleep here, so let's resume this on another day. I had a good conversation with you. All right.
Oh, sure. Yeah. When are you
Somebody, go ahead.
when are you planning to live stream next, Steve?
Probably next Saturday. I'll do another one. I'll do another one. If you get in here, that'll be great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sleep well. Sleep well, Steve.
Yeah. But if somebody said said that they appreciate your commentary. So, all right. I'll talk to
Oh,
you.
okay. All right. Later.
Bye. All right, guys. I'm sorry. It gravitated into this other area here. I'm not knocking him out. I'm getting tired here, and I wanted to keep it on Charlie Kirk, but unfortunately, everything kind of bounced around here. And Charlie Kirk. I think it's sad that anybody gets killed like that, but I think Charlie Kirk was controlled opposition, much like anytime you have all these social problems like men being marginalized, and you have all these excess men in the world that in America that can't even get a woman, and so we blame the problem on some other thing like they're not going to church enough or whatever, and I think it's sad. But anyways, okay, someone said don't have him on. I like Harden, but the problem is that he's making up some falsehoods about saying that the Democratic Party was so anti-Israel. That's the most ludicrous argument that was made during the election. They said, when is it that the Republican Party? They said, are the Democrats going to capitulate on their support for Israel? And the number one thing was, no, they're not going to. They're going to continue to support it no matter what. So it's just, I don't know why he's saying that. That makes absolutely no sense that the Democratic Party is so anti-Israel. And then he said MSNBC and CNN is anti-Israel. Yes, they have covered the war in Gaza more realistically, but to say they're anti-Israel is the most insane thing. That I think everything is kind of, the weapons industry has got its stranglehold on this. God, AIPAC funds all the Dems. The Dems, and I think it's 95% of Congress people have to swear an oath to Israel in order to get elected. If you even break that rule, you will not get reelected. So no, that's, oh man. AIPAC buys the politicians is correct. And unfortunately, I don't know why he doesn't see this, and I'm trying to be respectful. He puts his face out there. I'll say that he doesn't see this. He cares so much about Israel. Why doesn't he live there? Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Why doesn't he live there? Because here's the thing: he might find a woman there. Well, Ted Cruz gets a lot of money. Anyways, I'm just so tired right now, guys. I'm about to boot out of here. I like it when I had to boot the rabbi guy out of here because he was popping in and out of here. And wow. Yeah, he was popping in and out of here. Let me check something. Oh, damn. Yep, you don't. I try to keep this subject it's a very taboo subject, but I mean, people are talking about the Jews now and the Jays or whatever. It's not a taboo subject to talk about it anymore. It's become so mainstream to be critical of Israel now because of what's going on in the world. But I'm not trying to create this proprietary niche agenda or anything, but I believe the crux of all this dysfunction is the fact that there's too many excess males in America that can't find wives. I mean, I've leaned on that thing because I think that this is socially messing things up. You say, well, Charlie Kirk believed in the family. He believed in the family. Yeah, well, teach your followers how to find a wife and kids. And he couldn't even do that. So that's how it is. Talked about this before. It's a sad state of affairs. His idea that well, yeah, it's possibly true that if Israel couldn't get its weapons from America, it'd have to go somewhere else. Yeah, and it would have to make a pact, but yeah, it was a pretty good stream. It was okay. It was off the cut. I wasn't really. There were some good things here. It's almost entirely not able to see. Nobody was obsessed with politics except the old back in the 80s, 90s. Yeah, I think it's terrible that there's all these excess men in the world or in this country, and it's something really like it. We can't. The population's going to have to grow. This can't happen. Like we have all these crazy excess dudes that are coming home, getting drunk, living in their one-room apartment. I mean, there's just so many dudes out there, and yeah, politics is becoming the excuse to not go out and do anything. All right, I'm out of here. Today I'll say today's date is September 14th, 2025. Now the date has changed. It's 1:09 a.m. Eastern time. Here we go.